Let us now take up another sutram in this adhikara of Tachila Tadharma Tatsadhukarishu. Sutram we're taking up now is 3 to 139. 3 to 139, which says Gla Jisthascha Gisno. Gla Jisthascha Gisno. It's a very simple sutram. All it says is that Etebhyashchadbhuvascha Gisno Syat Tachiladishu Kartrushu, which means that this affix gsno may be used following the three verbal roots, which are glai harshakshaye, g, which is g jaye or g abhibhave, stha, which is in the dhatu partha listed as shtha gati nivritta, which we have seen many times before, as well as this verbal root bhu sattayam, which is of course the very first one in the dhatu partha. Now how do we know bhu sattayam also? Because the sutram says cha, glajisthascha, and that cha brings in the bhuvaha from the prior sutram 3 to 138. That's what the vritti says chat bhuvascha. Because of the cha included in the sutram 3 to 139, it brings in the anuvritti of bhuvaha from 3 to 138. So this total of 4 verbal roots. Following any one of these, this affix gsn may be used in the sense of tachira tadharma tatsadhukarishu, which means that an agent who does the action as a matter of habit or his nature, or as a matter of his duty or family tradition, or he is good or skilled at doing that action. Now in the sutram you notice that instead of glai, Panini has said gla. We know why that is, because of 6145 adech upadeshe shiti, adech upadeshe shiti, which is well known to us, which means that any verbal root in the dhatu partha which ends in a h letter, that immediately takes a akara desha. By alontyasya, the ending h letter of the verbal root changes to akaraha, as long as there is not going to be a talavya shakara as a it following. So that's why here glai immediately becomes gla, because there is no talavya shakara as an it following here. So glai becomes gla, and then we get the form glasnuhu, glasnuhu. Now if we take dhatu g, now g is listed in 2 places in dhatu partha, g jaye or g abhibhave, which also we have seen previously. G jaye is akarmaka dhatuhu, means to be victorious, and g abhibhave means to conquer somebody, to overpower somebody. So that is a sakarmaka dhatuhu. But in any case, in either case, this sutram applies. So let's take the example jayati tachila tadharma athava tatsadhukari. Derive the form jishnuhu, jishnuhu. The derivation is very simple. You start with g plus gisnu by 3 to 139, gla ji sthascha gisnu, and the gakaraha at the beginning of the pratyaya gets the it sanya by lashakvatadite tasya lopaha. We get g snu. Now at this point snu would have taken the idagamaha by 7 to 35 ardhadhatukasya baladehe, but 7 to 10 ekach upadeshe nudattat stops the idagamaha, because his dhatu g is the ekach dhatu, it is anudat upadeshaha, it is anudatta swaraha. That ikara of g has anudatta swaraha. So 7 to 10 stops 7 to 35. And also the gunadeshaha, which would have been done by sarvadhataka ardhadhatakayoho, is also stopped by 115 kiniticha. Kiniticha. Remember what Kiniticha said? Let's go back and look at the vritti of Kiniticha for a second. Kiniticha said git kin nyin nimitte iglakshane gunavriddhi nastaha. So an affix which is either a gakaraha, like we have right now in Gisnu, or a kakaraha or a ngakaraha as a it, is not allowed to perform an operation of guna or vriddhi on an ik vowel. So that is why it applies here. Kiniticha applies here, because we have gakara as an it in the pratyaha gisnu. So therefore there is no gunadeshaha in place of the ikara of g. And now we apply 8359 adesha pratyayayoho to get the murdhanya shakara adesha in place of the sakara of the pratyaha. And finally the natvam by 841 ra shabhyan no nas samanapade. Ra shabhyan no nas samanapade. So the nakara is replaced by a nakara, because we have the nimittam, the murdhanya shakara is right prior to it. So we get this pradipadikam jishnu. Jishnu gets a pradipadika sanya by krit tadita samasascha. And of course an adjective will go in all 3 genders. Now so the prathama ekvachanam pullinge is jishnuho. Let's take another verbal root, which is this verbal root stha. If we follow the same steps here and we take the example tishtati tachila tadharma tatsadhukari, we derive the form sthasnuhu. Start with stha plus gisnu. Same sutram 3 to 139. Remove the it letter gakarasit sanya by lashakvatadite tasya lopaha. Now here also 7 to 10 eka chupadeshe nudatta stops the ragama, which would have been done by 7 to 35. Now this important thing to note here is that 6466, which is ghumastha ga pa jahati sam hali, that does not apply here, because 6466 requires that the pratyaha following should be either a kit or a kavarga panchama nit. Right now we don't have that. We have a gakara as it, which is a tritiya varnaha, ka kha ga. We do not have a kakaraha as a it, nor do we have a ngkaraha as a it. So that is why 6466 does not apply, and we do not get the ikara adesha here. That's important to note. And then we get the form sthasnu, which gets the pratipadika sanya by 1 to 46 kritadita samasascha. So this is the specific sutram which applies to only these four verbal roots. And the important thing to note here is this affix gisnu has gakara as a it and not a kakaraha as a it. That's important for the derivations.